Hey guys, what's up? All right, today we're gonna talk about me getting my license. Okay, it was a lot of drama, it was a lot of shit going on, but you have a new driver in town. Not technically, but literally. Okay, I have my temporary license. I'm waiting for my real license to come in the mail. But today, this video is to showcase whatever the hell I went through to get my license. Okay, so stay tuned and thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share. So not only will I be talking about what happened with me getting my license, I would also be giving out tips about taking your test at DMV, the Newark DMV, because I looked up online. There were a lot of reviews about the place that scared me, but it really wasn't that crazy. It really was it was quick and simple if you have all that you need. In my case, I didn't have all that I needed, so it was the hell for me. But we're going to talk about everything today. Okay? So over the months from April to October, I took my knowledge test, which is the first requirement after you get your permit to take the knowledge test. Then you take the knowledge test. Then you set an appointment 6 months later if you're 17. And if you're 18 or older, I think it's 3 months for them. But I did mine at 17, so I had to wait 6 months. So I aced my knowledge test. It was a written test. It wasn't a written test. It was on a computer. So I took the test and I aced it. Okay. So I'm like, okay, now I have my permit. It was stamped and everything. So now I can get on the road and practice from 11. I think it's from 5 a.m. to 11 p.m. I can practice on the road with an instructor. I can drive alone, but I need to have somebody in the car with me. Okay, so me and my mom planned this instructor. We got from a recommend an uncle recommended this instructor for us. So it was a one-on-one training. It wasn't a school, but it was a private trainer. But he was a school, so it wasn't a big school. It was a private trainer, but under the name of the school. So I was working with this man over the months till October 7th. So whilst I was training with this man, I also had my uncle who had visited us for the time being. So he was taking me out to practice on the power parking. Now that was the only problem I had at that time. I had practiced with the man. I had a few classes with him, the instructor, so I was good on the maneuvers of the car. The only problem I had now was the power parking. And with that, my uncle was helping me with that. So when you go into DMV, what they test you on, the road test, what you were tested on is power parking, the K turn, you drive forward. After the K turn, you reverse straight with no mirrors. And if you're lucky, you get somebody who tell you that right there and there you passed. But if you're not, you get somebody else who tells you, let's go on the road. So they want to see you drive on the road before they can give you a pass. So I was lucky. I got somebody that told me that I passed. But yeah, so the power parking, I was working with this uncle on the power parking. Now, fast forward, the days went by. I'm a busy person, so I definitely needed a car. So because of that, I was always praying and hoping that everything would be all right on the first day, October 7th. I didn't really want to go back to DMV until I had coming to order for the car that I needed as my driver license. So I wanted to just go on October 7th, go with the instructor, wait in line, do my maneuvers, pass the test, leave. Okay? I'm talking go. And my mom was also hoping that I passed because, you got a whole family praying that I pass. You know? Um, so we, October 7th, we get there before that. So on October 7th, My appointment was at 12 o'clock. Now, tell me why this instructor will show up 30 minutes later past my appointment time. Which means not only did I get there later than my appointment time, I was 30 minutes late. Okay? I was 30 minutes and over late because he came to my house at 12:30 and took me there. So we got there around 12:40. But luckily, there was a long line, so I don't think anybody was paying attention to when you get there or not. Okay, so and he told me that you can be 1 hour late. So that was okay. But the problem was when we got there and getting our documents together, we discovered that this instructor's vehicle has the registration to the vehicle has expired for a whole 4 good months. And this man would not figure that out until we get in line almost 5 minutes till I take my test. Does he remember that the vehicle is now the expiring date for that vehicle is dead? Oh child, I tell you, I was stressed. Okay, I was sitting in the car, I was sweating, and he kept on talking, and I was blacking out because, mind you, I'm already stressing if I'm gonna pass the test or not. And then we come all the way over here. Now you're gonna remember that your vehicle is expired. What are you talking about? He was talking a whole lot of bullshit. I was not listening because I was, you know, mentally up here was chaotic. My whole world was crashing down me. Then he said something. He said, "Oh, we can go to my house and we can get my other car, but it's not. It doesn't have the school's name on it. So a lot of questions might be asked at the DMV because when you go to DMV with a private car, they treat you differently than when you go with your instructor's school vehicle. So if you go with a driving school car, they, they let something slide. But if you go with a private car, they actually scrutinize you very much. So now I'm like, oh my God, they're gonna ask me a lot of questions. They're gonna watch my every move. It's not gonna be easy, but I gotta test my luck. So we drive to his house. We go get his wife's car. We come back, and I thought, oh my God, we're finally saved. At least, tell me why that was me in my head. Fate was not done with me. She wasn't. We get to the lot where I'm about to take my test. I have the instructor around me taking my information, everything. Before you start the test, they tell you to put the signals on, to honk, and you know, basically check the car and see if there was no problem with it. We do the front, we go to the back. Tell me why the instructor will come back and say, "Oh my God, your brake lights at the back of the car is not working, so we gotta cancel the test." I failed the test before even starting the test. What are you saying? Oh my God. Luckily, luckily it wasn't that I was doing the test and I failed. Because of that, I get to try again, not after 2 weeks. Because when you fail the test, you have to come back 2 weeks later to try again. But because that was not the case, that was just a fault on the car, I get the chance to try again whenever I want. So, but if you know the Newark DMV in New Jersey, you know that that place is always packed. The appointment is always full, so you don't get a day next day. But he told us that the examiner told me that I could try at 5 o'clock that day. People cancel out the appointment, so maybe I would have an open day tomorrow to try again. Oh my God. We nodded, and I got out of the car, and then the instructor came to sit in the car, and we drove away. And whilst we were going away, he was trying to console me. But everything that he was saying was annoying to me because you are evil for this. You knew that your vehicle was. Why would you not check your vehicle for expire? Oh my God. You did not check your vehicle for expiring dates before we came for the test. You should have done that before the day even started. Then we go for your wife's car, and you know that your wife's car has a fault at the back, and you still made me come with you with the car. We waited an hour in line for my test, only to be sent back home because you have a fault on the car. And now we have to hold on to a hope that someone might cancel the test the next day. Else I have to wait and cancel out my whole week of work because I want to take my test. Like, I was thinking about this and it was so stressful. So we went there the next day. Okay, we went at 3 o'clock. Mind you, there was nobody checking. Like I said, nobody's checking your time. Okay, get there whenever you want to get there. So we got there at 3 o'clock. We were in line for like 20 minutes. So 3:20, my test started. Now at this point, the registration was done. Everything was done. So we were good. And this time we were in the old car, the school's car. So there wasn't a lot of questions asked, and it was time to take my test. I prayed. I breathed in and out just to calm my nerves, and I started the test. The instructor, he was cool outside the car until we got in the car. He basically just went serious mode. The mean face, everything. I'm like, okay, now's the deal. Okay, so we started. I started. He said, you have three tries for this. You can go ahead and power park, and I'll tell you what to do next. So we go ahead. I drive straight to the cone. I start maneuvering, trying to do the power parking. So I realized that when I did the power park, I realized I was far away from the curb. And you don't have to be far away from the curb. So I was trying to fix it. Okay, I was trying to fix myself so I can get close to the curb. But I realized that if I do that, I go close to the cones at the back. And if you hit the cone, that is over. You don't get no three tries for that. When you hit the cone, the test is done. For some reason, I still did it. I did the power parking so I could go closer to the curb. And miraculously, I didn't hit the cone. The instructor got up just to look back and see if I did hit the cone because that looked like I hit the cone, but I didn't. And he said, okay, now you can go ahead and do a K-turn. I'm like, oop, I passed the test. I passed the test because my only problem was the power parking. If I got the power parking out of the way, bitch, what is K-turn? What is a reverse? What is a... Nah, that ain't beating me. So I went ahead and I did the K-turn. I went ahead, I drove forward, I drove backwards. Then this man is gonna be like, he's gonna change his mean face. His every serious mode went off, and he's like, "Congratulations, you passed your test." I tell you, I was screaming in the car, bro. I'm like, "Yo!" After all the trouble I went through yesterday, I passed my test. That's crazy. So this tip is basically for the Newark. So if you're taking your road test at Newark, this is exactly what you're supposed to do. After you set an appointment for buying your permit. You go, you buy the permit for the knowledge test, and you set an appointment for the knowledge test. Then you go and you take the knowledge test, you pass, you set an appointment 6 months later if you're 17, or 3 months later if you're, 18 and above. And after that, so for the road test, you start, for starting the exam, you need to line up at the edge of the road outside of the MVC. And I'm going to put pictures around here. And these pictures are taken from reddit.com. It was posted there from somebody, so I'm picking up from there. So if you need more information, you can go check the www.reddit.com Newark Road test, and you have more information there. So first, you line up at the roadside. There's a sign that says road test starts here. I'll post the picture. Then second, when it's your turn, the instructors will tell you to enter the lot. So you get inside and they'll show you where to stay and wait for them. So whilst you're waiting, just get your documents together. And when the instructor comes, you take them out and you give it to them. And number three, the instructor will tell you to put the signs up. Left turn signal, the right turn signal, you're going to horn. The examiner will stand behind, like how he did, and found out that my brakes were not working. The left turn signal, the right turn signal, and the brake from the back. And then you start the exam. You're going to do the power parking. You just have to move a bit to the right, straighten the car, drive slightly forward, past the cones, pull in, park, put the car in park, and that's it. Okay? And number two, you're going to do the K-turn, which is way easy for me. I'm going to put the picture there so you're going to see it. And that was number two. Number three, you're going to drive straight almost to the end of the lot. Then the instructor will tell you to stop. And you're going to drive in reverse straight with no mirrors. Make sure you're looking back. Make sure your arm is stretched to the back, right? And you're going to, if you get the unlucky person, is going to tell you to leave the lot and go on the road. But I didn't do that. But if you're going to do that, some people might do that. So I'm just going to put a picture there to show you the block and the turns that you're going to do if you get on the road to take a test. So just study the block, try and practice on the road there, and yeah, you should be good. Okay? I tell you, it was nervous until I finished the test. Then I realized that I was being nervous for nothing. It was simple, it was fast. The only problem I had was my instructor didn't have what he was supposed to have for me at that time. So it was just all over the place. Okay? But yeah, I did pass my test, and it's the best exciting feeling ever. Okay? It was it was a climatic kind of sense because I have been anticipating for this for a very long time, and I got what I was waiting for. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and like I said in the first time, please like, subscribe, and share my video. Okay, I love you guys so much, and thank you for supporting me, and see you later. Bye.